Okay, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. This is Unzube Easy, or should I say the genie of TradeWise. So today we're going to be talking about the instant funded accounts being offered by FundingPips Zero. As you can see, the FundingPips Zero is an instant funding program, and in just in case you're not aware, these funding programs come with very strong rules, but they are very easy way of getting funded immediately. And if you are consistent, you should be able to get payouts out of this. So I'm going to be teaching you guys just what you need to ensure you can get a payout, because some people in Nigeria or some other third world countries, you don't really have enough money to go into doing a lot of challenges. I usually would recommend that you get an instant funded account, and you work with the rules I'm going to be giving you right now to actually get yourself a payout out of these things. Yes, the rules can be very hard to work with, but if these companies came up with these ideas, then it means that there is a way to work around it. Yes, there is a hack to it. There is no system that has ever been brought out that doesn't have a hack. Yes, or should I say, doesn't have a way around it. So we're going to be discussing a way I have found and I'm using currently that I would suggest you guys also apply in your own private trading. And if this works for you, feel free to send me a message on WhatsApp. If you have anything you want to discuss, you have problems, issues with this system, I'm always available to discuss it. So let's quickly talk about it. Like I said, this system is the idea I'll be giving currently works here on FundingPips Zero and should also work on the Equity Edge Proedge accounts. That is their instant accounts, which is very similar to your FundingPips Zero. Yes, two of them are actually very, very similar to each other. Rules are very much the same as well on the two. The rules on both of them are very much the same. Only difference is the leverage. FundingPips offers more leverage and Equity Edge is more cheap. Yeah. So let's quickly talk about the rules and let's have a good one. Okay, once again, welcome to the video. So as we say, the main problem you would always have on any of these accounts is the consistency score. Yes, the consistency score is the number one killer that you have on these accounts. So it's going to be the main problem you're going to face if you ever decide to go for any of these accounts. But like I said earlier, it is workable, it is fixable, it's possible to work around it. So we're going to quickly be talking about the requirements and let's dive into it anyways. So first things first is limited exposure and consistency. If you want to dive into this thing and actually make money from it, I will always advise that you have a limited exposure. Okay, ensure that you have a limited exposure in the market. You don't want to be too exposed. Yeah, one of the problem people have is risking so much. You want to risk 0.5%, you want to risk 1%. Most of these accounts would always come with a limited exposure per account, meaning that you are only permitted to risk roughly 1% per trade. Yes, the leverage most times is even bad, it's very low because they don't want you using very huge lot sizes, but people still go as far as risking so much, even with the little lot sizes. So you want to try as much as possible and limit your exposure. This is one of the things I will always advise you go for the big accounts here. You go for the 50K, the 25K, the 50K, the 100K, so that you have, even when you are working with a limited exposure, you still make a reasonable amount of money with it. Yes, on a 50K account, if I'm risking $125, I'll be making roughly times 5 of that. That means I'll be making like $500 per trade, which is a very good amount, risk to reward. If you look at it on a risk to reward ratio, with 1:4 risk to reward. But yeah, let's actually continue. Now, as I said earlier, another thing you want to ensure you have is consistency. You want to ensure that you are consistent. You are not someone that runs around like today you're risking 25, tomorrow today you're risking 1%, tomorrow you're risking 0.5%, next tomorrow you're risking 3%. No, you don't want your risk to be all over the place. You want to have control over your trading, have a consistent pattern that you trade with. You want to really be consistent with everything. You want to be someone that is a consistent trader. Yes, profitable and consistent. If anybody is telling you that, oh, this thing you can't walk around it, then it means that person is not consistent. Moving on, fixed risk. I would always advise you have a fixed risk of maximum 0.25% of the account. Yes, you can do 0.5, you can do more than that. But I will always advise, for the sake of longevity, you go with 0.25%, as that will give you enough room. You have like 20 losses before you can blow the account. I believe if you are profitable, you should be able to make one or two. You should have profitable trades in if you trade 20, if you have 20 trades. Yeah. And you also want to give yourself a fixed reward per day. Yes, fixed reward is going to really help your life. We're going to be doing some calculations at the end of this video, or should I say very soon. So you want to watch until that point. Remember that we're working with 0.25% as the fixed risk, and I'm going to be telling you guys how much you're going to be making at the end of every month, working with a fixed reward as well. Now, for the sake of our calculation, we're going to be making our longevity period a minimum of 20 days. Now, depending on how many days you want to work with, the reward can begin to pile up. But we're going to work with 20 days, which is exactly the amount of days you have if you're trading for 1 month. Okay, in 1 month, you have on average 20 trading days. So, for longevity's sake, we are going to be working with 20 trading days. And moving on, strike rate is another thing that makes or breaks you as a trader. As yeah, that's, like I said, what makes or breaks you as a trader. Longevity, if you want to trade long, being able to trade long with a poor strike rate is going to be an issue. Yeah, so you want to be someone that has at least a strike rate of 50% if you want to make these things work for you. Strike rate of 50%, meaning if I trade 20 days, I should be able to make money. I should be able to hit my take profit 10 days, or at least, have a reasonable risk strike rate if you're going to be working with this. Now, we are going to be talking about your fixed risk to reward ratios, and seeing how much you can make if you work with them. Okay, so now let's dive into it. So starting off the list on our fixed risk to reward calculation, we're going to be working with a trader that is risking roughly 0.25%. That's a 0.25. That has a risk to reward ratio of 1:2. Now, if you're trading with 1:2 and you're targeting 20 days, 10 profitable days, you're going to lose roughly 2.5% of your account, which is roughly half your max drawdown. And if you make money for 10 days, you're going to make roughly 5% of your account. So that means you'll be coming out of the week with out of the month with 2.5%. Is that enough? Is that a good amount? Depending on your account, it can be a very good amount. On a 50K account, that's around $1,250 in dollars. On a 100K, that would be around $2,500. But can you withdraw this on your first month? No, because most of these accounts, you need to make roughly 3% safety cushion before you can withdraw. So that means that on this very account, you would have met the TVS. Would you have met the TVS? 10 profitable days. Then yes, you would have met the TVS to an extent. No, you wouldn't have met the TVS. You will need to trade roughly 2 months to get to the TVS of this very account. That's a TVS consistency score. To meet the consistency score of 15%, you need to have 7 profitable days. And in this very account, our profitable days gives us 1:2. So that means it gives us 0.5%. So that means for us to withdraw, we need to have at least profit of 3.5% on the account. And as you can see, we ended the month with 2.5%. That means we are still lacking 1 extra percent before we can withdraw. And if you are working with risk to reward of 1:4, you would end the month with roughly 7.5%. Now, you would have successfully met the consistency score because you have been making 1% every day. Yeah, 0.25 times 4 is 1%. So that means at the end of the month, you are coming out with 7.5%. You have made more than the consistency score. So you are good to go. You should be able to get a withdrawal very easily. Not very likely, very easily. You should be able to get a payout with this. And moving on, finally, I gave a risk to reward of 1:5. I'm trying to be very realistic, very realistic. If I'm trading a 1:5 risk to reward and I have a strike rate of 50%, in a month, at the end of the month, you would lose total of 2.5% and you will make a total of 12.5% with 1:5. If you minus that, you'll be up the month with 10% profits, and you should most certainly be able to withdraw. So the probability of you getting a withdrawal becomes very likely if you have a strike rate of 50% and a 1:4 risk to reward. If you guys need more complex calculations, feel free to comment that, and I'll make a video with that very calculation in mind. Okay, if you have a particular risk to reward you want, or a particular strike rate, and you want me to make a calculation specifically for you, feel free to send me a DM on WhatsApp or put it down in the comment, and I'll make a video around your own strike rate and your own risk to reward, and tell you how long to trade the account in order to get a payout. Remember, this system would profit those of you that don't really have much money to risk on buying several challenges. You can buy one instant funded account and take your time. Take your time passing them. Also, I've made other videos. Other videos will be coming out in this channel where I cover different prop firms, FundingPips and Equity Edge specifically, going over all their rules and also giving specific instructions on how to get payouts from them. If you have a particular instant funding company you want me to talk about, feel free to send me a DM, and we will surely talk about them on this channel. Okay? Yeah. See you guys on the next video, and remember, stay blessed.